Namaskar, welcome to Ek Samvaad at Arunima Ankuran. Today is International Youth Day, 12th August. We are celebrating this at Arunima Ankuran. We are having a conversation to celebrate the power and potential of youth as partners in progress. And our guests today are Apurv Balkrishnan and Tanmay Tate. Welcome to Ek Samvaad and thank you so much for joining us. A word about Arunima Ankuran. Arunima Ankuran is an initiative for positive social change through self-development. The goal is greater well-being and happiness for all. At Arunima Ankuran, we believe that each person is unique and special in some way, that each person can make a difference, that each person can create an impact, and that's what inspires us to keep going. So, International Youth Day is celebrated to highlight youth issues and celebrate the potential of youth as partners in today's global society. Here are 5 points underscoring its significance. It brings youth issues to the attention of the international community. It creates awareness. It celebrates the potential of youth as essential contributors to society. It encourages young people to take active roles in their communities. It promotes intergenerational understanding and collaboration. And of course, it inspires initiatives and helps young people to understand that they have a role to play, they can contribute in society. It's a special occasion to celebrate and recognize the potential, achievements, contributions of young people across the globe. The theme for this year's Youth Day is From Clicks to Progress, Youth Digital Pathways to Sustainable Development. Young people are leading the adoption and development of new technologies, driving digital trends and innovation globally. So by celebrating the digital contributions of youth, we can inspire further innovation and collaboration towards achieving sustainable development. I'm so grateful and proud to have these two dynamic young people here. Swami Vivekananda's words inspire us as always. Arise, awake and stop not till the goal is reached. So again, very warm welcome to the two of you and I'm so happy to have you here.
Likewise, ma'am, likewise.
Absolutely.
So I think we'll start with Apurv. Apurv, tell us a little bit about yourself. Then we'll ask Tanmay to tell us a little bit about himself and get into the conversation. Yes, Apurv.
Surely. First of all, thank you so much for having me. When you initially invited me, I was skeptical that what and how I could be contributing to this topic. But when you brief right now, when I looked at the points, it matches and aligns with the goals of our club, which is Rotaract Club of Nagpur United. And I felt really, really happy to see that. Also, you are one of the rarest person to spell my name correctly. Thank you so much for that. Or else people mistake it for Apurva, Apoorva. That also felt nice. Coming to the point, I am an electrical engineering graduate from RTMNU. After that, I have been switching careers into multiple domains, and surprisingly, 2 weeks ago, I served my notice period at my previous company, and last week I joined one, diving from one industry to another just to learn how the trends are going in the world and to see how we can bring sustainable change and also contribute to the world while gathering and charging the youth towards the progress.
Yes. Tanmay, we'll come to you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. First and foremost, thank you so much for having me and Apurv here. Really
Welcome.
glad to be doing this. A little about me, I'm Tanmay Tate. I lead marketing community at Travels Lab and Scribbledog. But it all started, in 2017, 2018, when I was done with my 11th and 12th. And I started in college where, most of the people like us, don't know what to do when they are in college apart from, doing events and having fun while doing them.
Yes.
So it started when we did this event called Innovation Perv. I helped it to coordinate one of the biggest event in Nagpur. And I had a very small role to play in, but I like to brag about it a lot, especially
Go
because
ahead.
of the impact it has created. And I'm sure I'm sure like everybody, every youth has that like one movement of change where he felt like, okay, this is where I can pivot in my career, and this is where I want to be headed towards. And that was that pivoting moment for me, because as a computer graduate, I love computers, but I don't like coding much. And my career needed me to be more coding active, which I wasn't. But just doing those exploration things, trying out different things, made me realize that maybe even if I understand coding, I can still pivot my career into something which I like to do, which was public speaking, trying, helping, organizing events, having fun while doing it, talking to people, being as social as possible. And that's what brought me to where I am today. Still haven't reached the goals that I have put in for myself, but it still feels nice to be in the journey of developing myself as well as the people around me, which will definitely come ahead when we have this conversation. So that's pretty much about me in terms of how I started and what I'm doing right now.
So delighted to have you here. It's really nice to hear from young people about themselves, because you're the promise for tomorrow. So, where we first met was a very interesting place. I would like you to share with the audience how that journey started for the two of you, how the thought came, and, how you got this beautiful thing going. Yes. Mm, which one of you would like
So
to
I'll just start, then Tanmay can catch up.
go ahead?
So the thing is, I start with the conception of the club so that it builds up to the story.
Yes.
Yeah. So as Tanmay mentioned, the two pivoting points of his life where he knew that what he could do and what he's interested in. There are two pivot points in my life. The first one is my first Independence Day speech uh, in my 10th class,
Hmm.
and I give the credit to my 10th class teacher, Alone sir.
Hmm.
I hope this video reaches out to him because I am desperately wanting to meet him, to thank him for the kind of person he has made me. Because that is when I understood the kind of potential I have,
Hmm.
and that is when I understood the impact of my social circle on my behavior.
Hmm.
So that's one of the triggering thing which has changed me into good. Second thing would be the final year of my engineering, wherein I joined Rotaract Club of PCE.
Hmm.
Right? So that is when I understood the horizon of how the world operates in a wider prospect. And that is when I realized the hidden potential I had inside me. Because till then I had constrained myself into certain skill sets. But then I had exposed myself to some kind of task or activities wherein I participated.
Hmm.
And for the first time, that was the last moment because the team members weren't sufficient to participate. So I had to fill in. And eventually we won.
Wow.
So that is one thing I realized कि ये भी कर सकते हैं.
Huh.
अच्छा फिर ग्रेजुएशन खत्म कोविड शुरू
Hmm.
and I was like let not the journey end here because when I found Rotaract as a platform to get the exposure and learn new skills, I thought of establishing a platform for others as well. Because, like me, not everyone is privileged to have mentors or guidance from someone else. So, why not create a platform them for them, right? To guide them, to mentor them, or to teach them something which is relevant to their lives. So that is when the Rotary Club of Nagpur United started, focusing on team bonding, team fellowship, community services, and all. And down the line, 2 years, then last year I led my club, and TUL, the United League 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 are the sports competition which we conduct almost once in a 6 months. That is to inculcate the sportsmanship,
Hmm.
also to develop the fellowship among the fellow members, also to involve others and boost network,
Hmm.
because that is when we met.
Hmm.
That is when our team had a chance to meet the deputy commissioner of Zilla Parishad Nagpur. We had a good conversation with him, and eventually he promised to support us in our community-based projects.
Hmm.
So yes, that was the thought process behind it, to have fun and to engage everyone. So yes, if Tanmay wants to add up to something.
Yes. Tanmay, please.
Um, a, a quick story since conversation started with how we met.
Hmm.
Me and Apur, we've been trying to, gel up a lot nowadays. Go out and try to have fun because, especially because our jobs involved us, to stay at home, either at offices or either we are at home. So a week ago, we sort of decided that, we should do more events or
Hmm.
we should just participate in more events, whatever is happening in Nagpur. And we never thought that we'll do an event where we'd have like 32 to 35 people, wherein 50% of the crowd were from like outside clubs, which weren't part of, the initiatives that we're doing. And that's the best thing about this kind of events is when you meet those different 16 people who aren't part of the club, you
Hmm.
get to know a lot about what people are doing. And that's how we met. When I came to know that you're a psychologist and you have this real hunger to play badminton and love the sport, it really caters to the sportsmanship, or the sports kind of becomes common factor to talk about to begin the conversation. And eventually that's where the friendships or connection begins, where you find a common point at an event, you
Hmm.
capitalize on those common points, and you end up getting on a social media or WhatsApp together and do the events like this, or do a session like we are doing right now. So ideally, that was the reason behind what Apur said, was to do this kind of events more, especially like TUL, and meet people like you, and grow together. So that's all I would like to add.
There is a certain perception about today's youth. I would like you to tell me, as part of that generation, what does the youth look for, and what is the role that they're looking to play? How do they look at themselves, for example? Yes.
You want to take that, Apur?
I would want you to start this.
Okay, so clearly I am the most youthful person here among three of us, so I'll probably start.
Yes, Tanmay, please go ahead.
uh, um, I think nowadays I can't really speak with respect to difference because I don't know what youths were before I was born. But nowadays we are pretty growth oriented just with respect to careers.
Yes.
Um, but the attention span is something that has diluted a lot from what I have been reading and what I have been studying.
Hmm.
Definitely because of the varieties of options to distract yourself, starting with social media and small content that comes into the picture where you just scroll the reels and 1 hour is gone. So I think nowadays to be a youth is pretty tricky, as long as you are not understanding what you really want out of your life. And I'll tell you a reason, right? I come from like the mix of both generations, because I understood like in 8, 9, 10th, I didn't have an internet connection at my place. And most of the internet that we used to get was for, checking out exam results, to go to, net cafe, things like that.
Hmm.
I used to go out more. Uh, I used to play more.
Hmm.
I used to indulge in conversations with my parents more. I used to indulge in conversations with my families more, right? So that sort of always helped me, to socialize a bit more,
Hmm.
understand the perspective of different generations a bit more, like spending time with your grandfathers who has completely different opinion about life than you would have at the point of life where you are, right? So I used to do that more. 11, 12th is when Geo came into the picture in my life, and we sort of were, spoiled with a immense internet connection, and Instagram became a new thing. So spending times on Instagram, Facebook really changes the perception of the youth. The reason being the algorithm, because once you start looking at the content, there are varieties of emotions that are subconsciously triggered in your mind that you don't even realize that you're going through. It might start with like a motivational reels to begin with in the morning, and suddenly there is a funny thing in 11, 12. So you start scrolling it as long as you want because it's fun, right? And then suddenly there's a sad reel that pops into your mind at the night. So your sleep is sort of devastated because of the thought of the sadness that is subconsciously built in your mind. So coming back to the point where I want to divert this fact that being a youth nowadays, it's a lot more trickier, especially because of this new technologies and the changes that this world is going through rapidly is really, really impacting the mindset a lot. That's being the one thing, and I'm sure there was a follow-up questions which I'm not able to recall because of the mindset of the youth that I explained. But can you please ask it again so
Yeah,
that I
so
can answer
how
it?
does the youth look at itself is basically what I'm trying to understand to start with. And also, now that we are coming to Apur, we'll come to you. See, of course, everything has two sides, right? So the technology is something the youth understand better. You're called digital natives, actually. So you understand technology well enough to employ it in useful ways also, right? So, talk to me a little bit about how technology is contributing in your purpose of bringing people together, of building a community, of contributing. How does the technology contribute? Yeah,
Ma'am, so I would like to add some points to it.
sure.
So the first thing is youth are classified, I would say. Not everybody is focused. Not everybody is really working towards their goal. Not everybody is dedicated. Not everybody is just dilly dallying. Not everybody is lazy. Not everybody is unclear. We have a set of people in the society right now, in terms of youth, out of which most of them are either worried or confused. And there are some part, let's say 20-30% of the youth who know what to do, and they're just figuring out how to do it.
Wow.
And that is where the technological part comes into the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Because that is when you use the tools as per your needs, as to meet the targets you have set for yourself. So the 30% people use the technology as a tool, but the rest of the 70% people, as Tanmay mentioned, they are just wasting their time on Instagram, social media platforms to see what others are doing. I mean, they have the sense of fake importance they have built for themselves.
Yes.
To justify that, they will be posting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They will be doing things which isn't necessary or not taking them to anywhere, just
Mm-hmm.
misleading them and revolving them into their own ecosystem which they have in their head.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the 70% of the people who are using technology just to have fun or to build their name, which is not leading them to some. But when you talk about 30%, these 30% people, these 30% of the youth are the people who use their time very efficiently. They are very particular about what they want to do, how they want to do it, and when, and most importantly, with whom do they want to do it. Because they know the importance of both the technology and the surrounding. So they combine the aspects of both the things and they just make it happen in whatever aspect they want to do it. So Tanmay being the most youthful person among the three, I would ask him to highlight the technological aspects.
Yes. Yes, Tanmay.
Yeah, I really have a really amazing example from this last 3 months itself. So I recently joined this new company called Rabel Labs, right? and I have been curating communities of writers who
Okay.
writes about technology,
Hmm.
and we are able to tap into 5 different countries as of now. I have writers from Nigeria, Romania, France, India, Vietnam, and Australia. Right. So, and if you see the demographics among these people, I don't see anybody's face. I don't know anybody's face in my community. Right.
Hmm. Hmm.
And even with that, these guys are of the age 17, 18, 20, 21,
Hmm.
and they are earning around 40K to 50K every month from the initiatives that we are doing. And their job is to research about content, research about the technology, and explain it is in as simplified way as possible.
Hmm.
Whoever gets the maximum engagement, we incentivize based on the projects that we are getting.
Wow.
And it really, shows the impact of the small curated community you can curate, because
Hmm.
I keep on getting these messages from Nigerian crowd like, hey, this Scribble DAO has really changed my life because I am able to do what I love while sitting at home, and also I'm able to learn from it, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's a beautiful thing you can do. It's a really impactful to have 52 writers in one group,
Hmm.
and you're giving them projects. They're writing about those projects in one week. Next week, you finalize who are the winners and you distribute the amount.
Hmm.
And if we would have thought about this in 10 years ago, just
Hmm.
distributing the amount would have been really, really, really hassle
True.
when it comes to abroad.
Hmm.
But the technology is like blockchain now, Web3 coming into the picture. It's really easy to transfer money to Nigeria, to US,
Hmm.
to Romania,
Hmm.
and really have those people part of this one group.
Hmm.
So if we have those kind of youth, and if we can leverage technologies
Yes.
and internet and whatever the new tech that is coming in a way that is being described here, I
Hmm.
think there's a huge scope of improvement and just huge scope of learning opportunities for youths out there. So uh, just wanted to highlight one thing, and it's honestly not as relevant to this topic, but
Go ahead.
we hear a lot of unemployment among the youths nowadays, right?
Hmm.
And that is because of less exploration. Because trust me, there is really huge and ton of opportunities out there,
Wow.
but what's missing is the will to search and will to adapt and will to make yourself worth for that opportunity. And if you hit the ground harder, I think you'll dig a hole in it eventually. So that is something that really needs to be inculcated among the youth, is what I feel. So yeah, just wanted to cover that up.
And something I'm so fascinated and delighted to see is that both of you are emphasizing the power of choice, the choices we make, and that is so amazing. I wish that the young people who are listening in understand that everything is within us. It's just a matter of what we choose to do. You can choose to spend a Sunday organizing a badminton tournament, bringing people together, playing, getting everyone into that mode of a very, I think it was very well designed also, a very good event you organized. And that's one way of spending your Sunday. So that choice which you made and how you brought us together is such a beautiful thing. Again, it was a WhatsApp group. It was all technology, and to start off with at least. So I would like, with the beautiful vision that the two of you have as young people, just share some suggestions for young people in terms of how they can employ technology and design their lives around it in a beautiful way that you're doing. Yes, suggestions. Apurv, would you like to start?
I'll
Yeah.
I'll start. Yes. So I like to personally, I
Hmm.
like to keep things very, very simple.
Hmm.
Be minimal as you can. I have two phones. I
Hmm.
use one for personal use,
Hmm.
WhatsApp, call, messages, and some part of LinkedIn and YouTube. The other phone I use for work purposes only, which
Hmm.
has all my mails,
Hmm.
uh, all my WhatsApp communication business groups, and everything related to the work.
Okay.
So I have kept it very sorted that when the one phone rings, I know where it has come from. When one notification dings, I know who might have texted me and for what.
Hmm.
So I could set my response or reaction according to it. That if it's my working day and if my work phone rings, I know that's my priority one. If I'm working and my other phone, the personal phone dings, I
Hmm.
know I can ignore it.
Hmm.
So keep it as simple as that. You nowadays there are so many applications, so many softwares which tells you to practice meditation, which helps you to practice meditation. But at the end, all I could figure it out is they are selling their products.
Hmm.
They
Hmm.
want customers.
Hmm.
They are not helping us out in any way. Because if you want to practice meditation, if you want to inculcate a habit
Hmm.
of staying away from a phone, then why do you need a phone to stay away from a phone?
Hmm.
That is
Yes.
so ironical.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
6 months ago, I calculated my screen time, which went around 4 hours 50 minutes. I was stunned because
Hmm.
at the same time I was also uh, thinking that I don't have time for work, I don't have time to go out, I don't have time to eat out, I don't have time to go out with Tanmay, anything. At the same time, I'm spending 5 hours on phone. Do what? Nothing. Instagram, okay. WhatsApp,
Hmm.
okay. Amazon,
Hmm.
Twitter,
Hmm.
which is yielding me no results at all.
True.
So that is when I took this type of just simplifying things and keeping it as minimal as possible. Because trust me, I'm saying this out of my heart that if even if you know about what's happening in someone else's life, or if
Hmm.
you don't, it doesn't bring any such major difference to your life.
Yes.
What I feel social media applications are making you do
Hmm.
is just creating a sense of FOMO, which is
Hmm.
fear of missing out.
Hmm.
That people of my age
Hmm.
are doing this,
Hmm.
I am not there yet.
Hmm.
So they will go in the sense of guilt at what am I doing with my life.
Hmm.
And even if they know that the peers are doing something much bigger than what they are,
Hmm.
they won't take any significant action.
Hmm.
The same way, I hate this application, Snapchat. I don't know why people use it.
Hmm.
I just hate people who use it. Ma'am,
Hmm.
have you ever used Snapchat or heard about
No,
it?
I haven't. No.
Ma'am, just imagine
Hmm.
there is application in both of us phones.
Hmm.
Yeah. I am sending you photos or videos of what I do. It can
Hmm.
be anything.
Hmm.
What am I eating? What am I watching? Am I sleeping? If I'm reading, if I'm working, I'll send you photos and videos. You'll do the same.
Hmm.
And if you do this continuously for, I mean, regularly every day, then
Hmm.
it creates a streak,
Okay.
100-day streak, 200-day streak,
Hmm.
and it yields out nothing,
Hmm.
absolutely nothing. Just a sense of satisfaction that, yes, the streak is maintained. But
Hmm.
for what?
Right.
Nothing. You're just wasting time. You're just telling people what you're doing, even if they don't care.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're just watching people do something and you're not taking actions.
Hmm.
So boiling out to one simple point, which is to keep things as minimal as possible. You will get off the distractions and you can focus on what is important, and you will feel connected to people around you.
Amazing. Thanks, Apurv. Yes, Tanmay. Very briefly, just share something very similar to, the ideas that you would like to share with young people who still haven't found their why. Hmm.
Uh, just keeping it very simple on day-to-day terms. Set up an alarm, and I do
Hmm.
this very easily, and it's very easy to set up, right? Just
Hmm.
give yourself time and understand when your brain is very functional. So
Hmm.
for me, 9 to 12 is where my brain is very functional, and I love to do ideation stuff, right? So I
Wow.
don't have any meetings there apart from the catch ups and all I do, right? Second is just turn on the work mode. I don't have the leverage of having two phones,
Mm,
so I just have work mode on, where I don't get useless notification.
mhm,
I usually try to distract myself from Instagram, any other social media handle. If I have to be on Telegram because of my job revolves around it, so I can't help it.
mm,
So just making sure those tools align with you.
mhm,
Also, one of the very small things that I would suggest, and this should be done by everybody, not just youth, but like this is for everybody, is make sure your apps are in a way, placed in a way where most important things are in front of you, right? So I have like blank screen in front of my wallpaper, because as soon as I open my phone, I don't see Instagram application, I don't see YouTube, I don't have YouTube on my phone as well, right? Because it really takes a lot of time.
yeah.
So I just have a blank screen, so whenever I open it, I know why I've opened my phone, and I'm not distracted by any icons on my phone. So it's a very
Mm,
small trick, but it
mm,
really creates a huge impact in the life once you start using it on regular basis. Right. Third is to use more AI. So I need to use more AI because I create a lot of content. So
mhm,
what it has done me is the likes of Chat GPT, Gemini is like just randomly write things and it gives me answer in a quick, really easy way, right?
mhm,
So having those tools associated with your life so that daily life becomes very easy. And last but not the least is something called implementation intention,
mhm,
which sometimes I do procrastinate using it, but I try to do it as often as possible. Is to timeline the task that I'm going to do the next day. So when I say next day I'm going to do this task, so I just don't write down the task that I have to do. I just give them time. 10 to 10:30, I have to wrap up my concept note, right? So as soon as the 10 kicks in, I subconsciously know that I have to work on this particular stuff rather than making that decision that what should I do first. I already have made that decision previous night or maybe at the start of the morning. So I don't have to think much along the lines of what I have to do. I just have to timeline it and start working on that thing.
mhm.
So that would all be like these are very small things that can over the time create a huge impact if you use it efficiently and more.
So I'm so delighted to have met the two of you, and I'm sure that listening in, young people will realize what you are doing is giving a direction. You are choosing to focus your attention on specific goals, direct your energy towards specific goals, because youth is that period when your body and mind and everything is at its peak. So whatever you choose to do, you'll be able to do it, to the fullest, the best possible. And the Olympics that we have just seen recently is an excellent shining example of that. How youthful energy can be channelized. So I'm so grateful to the two of you for being here. I think we'll come back for another conversation sometime soon. Yeah. And thanks a lot, Tanmay and Apurv. It was indeed a pleasure meeting you in person that day, and today I am even more impressed with how beautifully you think. You have brilliant minds. All the very best. Keep shining and make the world a better place. Thank you for being on Exam.
Sure. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you.